Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to go through something that will 1 million% be happening, has happened, or will happen again to you whilst trying to change habits, routines, thought processes, and you're trying to become the person that you want to ultimately become. When we start something, the majority of us, even when we're not starting something, we're in break even. Um, Breaking even is we are training a little bit. We're focusing on nutrition. We're focusing on protein a little bit. Sleep is okay. We're managing stress. We're managing work. We're kind of just coping. We're getting by. We're not quite fulfilled with um, everything that's going on or the things that we're doing. We know we can do a little bit more, but we are getting by. We might miss the odd workout. We might have a little bit more food here and there. We might not get outside as much at certain points, but we kind of just stay in this space. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, on the weekend you go out for a birthday, and you go to your favorite restaurant for this person's birthday, and it's an Italian restaurant. Now, you're a foodie, you love Italian food, and you order pizza, you can't help yourself. So you have a big, massive pizza um, with a pepperoni lager on the side. You finish up your pepperoni, you're halfway through your pizza, you order another pepperoni. Then you finish the whole pizza, you've finished your pepperoni, and someone asks, who wants dessert? And obviously you can't not have dessert, so you get the biggest slice of chocolate cake, and you have that chocolate cake, and you have maybe another pepperoni, maybe some cocktails, whatever it is, and all of a sudden that night turns into 4,500 calories, and you the next day are distraught. You're so angry, frustrated, and pissed off with yourself. Why did I do that? There was no need for me to have that cake. I didn't want to have that massive pizza. Why did I drink so much? I'm feeling hungover. And you've moved from break even and you've moved to fragmentation. And the behaviors of having the pizza and having the alcohol and having the chocolate cake have now moved to you being critical of yourself. You've not separated them being completely different. You have viewed that you are the problem. You are not right. You are never going to get this weight off. You're useless. You're incapable of not having this tasty food whilst trying to be quote unquote good. So you're beating yourself up. You're beating yourself up. And this fragmentation is this stage here is that you're judging yourself and you're criticizing your personality and your identity. And that is the psychological thing that's going on within this stage. But you know what? You say, okay, fine, I'll get back to it on Monday. I'll get back to it on Monday, and I'll be absolutely fine. I'll stick to my calories and everything will be absolutely fine. And then the weekend comes again, and guess what? You have more food than you had planned. You went into a social event and you were unprepared, and you are now judging yourself for having all of these tasty foods that you weren't planning on having. And guess what? You've gone another 4,500 calories of food in one night. You're absolutely livid. You're pissed off. You can't believe what's just happened. You're telling yourself that you're absolute idiot. You're never going to get this. You don't want it hard enough. You need to be more motivated. You need to be more disciplined, you idiot, you keep saying. And what you've done there is you've just kind of reverted and undone that breakthrough, come back to fragmentation. Now, the longer that you're in this fragmentation, in this phase of self criticism, the closer you start to get to breakdown. Breakdown is burnout. You can't get out of bed. It's harder to get out of bed. Motivation and discipline is just, you're not motivated for anything. You don't want to do anything. You're feeling really, 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 really low and defeated. Now, the more times that you go into this, the harder it is to get out of this. So in order for you to not get into breakdown, we need to get out of fragmentation. We need to remove ourselves from that negative space. So someone who is resilient, this is the resilient dynamic model that I'm showing you right now. Someone who is resilient is resourceful, adaptable, and energized. And they don't allow habits to form who they are. They do not judge themselves, or they may not judge themselves as long as someone who is stuck in fragmentation. They view it as data. They view it as feedback. Okay, I had that pizza because I was really stressed. I've had a really, really stressful week, and it makes complete sense that I'd had that pizza and had the alcohol and had that chocolate cake. It makes complete sense that I was craving those things. You know what? I've been restricting myself from these foods for so long. I just couldn't control myself. So someone who has a true breakthrough, who is resourceful, adaptable, and energized, may view that evening as just that, feedback. You know what? The next time that I have a social event, I'm going to make sure that I have a high protein lunch to try and curb that craving. I'm going to make sure that I have no non-alcohol drink when I go out. I'm going to count to 30. I'm going to count or time myself, not count 30 minutes. That would be a bit insane. But I'm going to time myself for 30 minutes before people order their dessert. And then when the waiter comes over, if I want the dessert, I'm going to order the dessert. But after the 30 minutes or the 15 minutes, whatever that is, once that timer is done, I'll make a decision. And I'll see if that works. And that's where that breakthrough moments are going to come through. That person who is more resourceful, more adaptable, more energized. Another example for you. We're in break even. Same scenario. We're getting by, we're training a bit, we're doing our nutrition, we're focusing on calories, etc., etc. All of a sudden, work picks up. It gets really, really busy, and I can't commit to workouts. I can't commit to the frequent workouts that I've been doing 3 times a week. And all of a sudden, because I'm not going to the gym, I'm beating myself up. Oh, you're not going to the gym, you're useless. You are never going to lose this weight. You are a piece of shit. I'm just someone who just doesn't have motivation. I'm just someone who doesn't have discipline. I'm just someone who is never going to get what they want, because you know what? I always fail at this thing. I need someone to help me out. Stuck in this fragmentation stage where you're beating yourself up, frustration, all of these things going on. And again, if we stay in this for too long, we move over to breakdown. I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get those workouts in. Monday comes by, you go to the gym, you're working out. Wednesday, you don't go to the gym and, shit, I'm back to this. I'm a piece of shit. I'm useless. I'm never going to do this thing. What's the point? I just need things to be perfect and bang on. And you're stuck in fragmentation again. Someone who is resilient, what would they do? They're resourceful, they're adaptable, and they're energized. So when they're breaking even, and this happens, maybe they view this as, okay, I can't work out 3 times in the week. What can I do? Well, I could go outside for walks. When work gets busy, I'm just going to go outside for walks. I'm going to get some sort of movement in. And you know what? If I've got a bit of time, I'll go on YouTube. I'll find a 10-minute home workout, hip home workout, no weights thing. Get my heart rate up. You know what? I'll go out for a run for 10 minutes once in the week. Breakthrough. I'm going to wait until this really busy time settles, but I'm still doing something. I'm still moving forward and I'm still progressing. You don't need motivation. You don't need discipline. You don't need a strict meal plan. You don't need Monday to come round again. You don't need everything else to be perfect in your life. You just need to find that resilience more. The resilience equation is this. When we move to fragmentation, when we've had that night of 4,500 calories, when we've not gone to the gym for a week, how quickly can you bounce back to your normal routine? How quickly can you do it? Because if you allow that 4,500 calories to turn into a month of 2 months of doing nothing, just letting things kind of, whatever, I'll do this again at some point when things are more perfect, then that is not resilience. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to the gym. It turns into a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. That is not resilience. So how quickly can we bounce back with energy? Are we sleeping? Are we heavily caffeinated? Have we got boundaries in place with work? Have we got boundaries in place with family, with friends? Do we respect our own boundaries? Where is the me time? Where is the ability to just sit, chill, watch TV, play an instrument? I don't know, whatever your hobby is. What does that look like energy wise? And then application of learning. This is one of the most important things. What can I learn from this? What is this? What is the feedback from this thing that's happened? What can I do to change this? What can I do to adapt? Because if this resilience equation is not being met and you're not doing anything about the thing that you're trying to change, guess what? That thing that you're trying to change will not happen because you're not reflecting on what needs to change. You can't stop. You can't keep waiting for Monday. Because guess what? Monday never comes. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you on the next one.